Welcome, everybody, to the Point podcast. I am Zach Bloom.
And I am Sean McCormick.
And we are excited for today's show. But first, Sean, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. It's been a good week, shortened week with Monday off for the holiday. Feeling good mostly. We got a couple changes in the household, but we'll get through it.
What's going on in the house?
My two youngest daughters are getting bunnies.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm nervous.
Yeah, that's, they shit all over the place. Yeah, that's not good.
No.
Why'd you allow this to happen?
We were backed into a corner by a 6-year-old and 9-year-old. And we got to the point where we couldn't say no. We made them sign a contract. I'll share the contract in the show notes, but it's not good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will no more contract negotiation for you with any of our publishers, is what you're saying?
I should not handle any contract.
I'll take care of that.
And if you really want to come out ahead, have your kids negotiate the deal.
Yeah, that's probably a good way.
Yeah.
So, well, enjoy the bunnies.
Thank you.
Had two?
Yeah, boy and girl. What could go wrong?
Oh, well, you know what happens with bunnies.
We may become a bunny breeder.
Yeah, you may have a big family moving in.
Yeah.
Well, that should be fun.
Well, today we have two great guests on that I'm really excited about.
We sure do.
Yeah, everyone seems to love them in the industry.
Yeah.
I've never met anyone who doesn't like them.
All right.
But if you don't like them, leave some comments.
If we can make anybody unlikable, we'll see what happens. Who do we have today?
We have Michael Morgidis,
okay,
and Adam Bilar.
Believe so. I asked you because I wasn't 100% sure how to pronounce those two last names, but
I know Michael's correct.
Yeah.
Adam, I've never really pronounced his name, and I've never heard him pronounce his last name.
Right. We've been friends for years now, so it's going to make it even more awkward when I ask him in a few minutes. But
yeah, it's going to be embarrassing.
All right. Well, let's get him on.
Welcome to the show, Michael and Adam. We're super happy to have you guys here today. Zach?
Funny, Sean introduced you guys before, and Adam, I don't think we've ever actually heard you pronounce your last name, so Sean may have gotten it wrong. How do you pronounce it?
Bolyar. Just like it looks. Yeah.
I think Sean was wrong, so
yeah.
Figuring it out though. So.
No. It was just I was definitely wrong. And,
good old Eastern European name,
Okay. And what are you calling in from a ship?
Yeah. I'm actually in Puerto Rico, gents. I'm on my patio. I spend a lot of time, when it's not super, super hot out here. Got to see I'm kind of up on the hill. You get a little gist of kind of the background, but yeah, it's the it's the Caribbean life,
Wow,
man, that's awesome.
Yeah. Sorry you couldn't have more sun today. I think Connecticut's scheduled to have some more sun in April or May.
Yeah, one day it'll be sunny and warm again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That background almost looks fake. That background almost looks fake.
So
it's funny.
So maybe that would be an interesting place to start, Adam and Michael, as you guys have your business headquartered in Puerto Rico. Maybe you guys could talk a little bit about moving down there, especially Adam, and kind of what you guys have seen like for the business by moving down there, your HQ.
Yeah. I could jump in on that. This will be. This will, it's our start of our actual third year. I can't believe it, Michael. It's already been that long.
I know, that's insane.
Yeah. But we made the decision. I mean, it was kind of a thought out process for, there's obviously a lot of hoops to jump through to form a corporation here and set up banking. But it's, I think what I would tell people that the best, obviously with anything, there's good and bads, right? And you take the good with the bad, but with Puerto Rico, for me, my kids are older, they're in college, there wasn't really like a spouse situation involved with making the decisions for me as well. So it was kind of an easy decision. It was like, well, I had lived in Florida for, 25 plus years. I'd been to Puerto Rico several times, loved the culture, loved it for the right reasons. You really have to love Puerto Rico. You can't just be like, okay, I'm here for the tax savings, because at the end of the day, we all know your life and your time is what's really important. Even if you're like, I'm saving a bunch of money on taxes, but you're spending 180 some days in a place that you don't like, it's definitely not worth it. I wouldn't advise that for anybody, but really leaned into the culture and the outdoor activities, hiking and bike riding and motorcycle riding and surfing, and it offers all of those things. So if you're an outdoor person like myself, it really was really awesome. And moving from Florida to here is not a big stretch, weather-wise. So that's kind of my pitch on the whole Puerto Rico side. I love it here. I'm glad I made the decision. It took a little while for me to, figure things out, but we're good.
Yeah, for sure. And also, you have to be okay with a couple of brownouts here and there in terms of power. Adam's definitely had to deal with that a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes with the territory. I mean, you're on an island in the Caribbean, so you're going to have some issues. But I've figured out ways around it. Technology is, I mean, it's probably the best time technology wise in order to be able to be here, because you can have satellite internet. Which, got to have that to work. And then you can set up solar generator, all that kind of stuff for power. So, I'm working all through those issues, but in the end of the day, every place has its, issues.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this. I mean, you guys have been in business how long now?
14 years next month.
And so these last 2 years, you've always been in the same office for the most part. These last
Correct.
2 years, you guys have been apart. How have you guys worked through not being in the same office? Has it been difficult, or was it easier? Like, how do you guys, view your business partnership being separated now?
I can speak on that. I can actually say that I probably talk to Adam more now, and we really brainstorm now more than we've ever done before. But there was a lot of things that coincided with this as well, right? So for a lot of years, Adam and I had a lifestyle business. We really worked hard, but it was really about having a good time and doing this. And actually about 3 years ago, we decided to really kind of turn it into, something different and really put 1,000% into building something great and other things. Not that we didn't already, but we just wanted to take it to, I'd have to say we grew up a little bit, I guess. Yeah. But at the same time, Adam did make this move. So we brainstorm all the time and we collaborate all the time. It's really not much. Honestly, our communication has probably gotten better. Our decision making is a lot more efficient, and it's really driven, and we're on the same page, and we talk about goals a lot more and where we want to go, where we want to be. So in a sense, it's actually worked out really, really well in terms of that. But I do miss my best friend, obviously, being here and being around him. But on the business side, it's not hurt our communication, and running the business and things like that has actually gotten better.
Yeah, how it is. Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, it's working. And obviously technology, guys, like, I mean, it's like after COVID, everybody kind of got a taste of what it was like to be, kind of isolated, or even like you have your core group of your company, your leadership, your important key employees were kind of like stuck at home or scattered. So it kind of like morphed into like, that's kind of like the new norm now, really. Yeah. And we deal with a lot of people in the industry. I'm sure you guys too, where, you're on a phone call and you're on a Zoom call and there'd be like, 10 people and they're scattered all over the country. That's basically the new norm.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
it's kind of all those things kind of came in line, like everyone, life is Zoom now or any type of video chat. So kind of everything kind of aligned with all of that, so it was great. It's interesting to know though, because, we're similar to you guys. We've been multiple businesses together. We've been friends forever. So when I moved down to Puerto Rico with Adam, we'll have no gap in communication. So
no. Hey, listen, man, I got a whole other apartment all set up for you, buddy. Come down anytime.
Yeah, it looks nicer there than it is here.
So I didn't tell you this. I'll tell you now. So when Adam moved to Puerto Rico, I asked my wife if I can move to Puerto Rico, and she said, "Well, how's Adam's wife handling that?" And I said, "She's completely on board with it." And to what she responded, "Isn't Adam divorced?" And I said, "Well, technically, yes, but
yes."
No,
but you didn't lie.
No. There was
no. I'm sure my ex-wife was totally fine with you moving down here.
It's out of the country, guys.
She packed his bag. Actually,
I have real quick. I have a good friend who said, he always says if his wife divorces him, he's going to do 3 things. He's going to help her pack, drive her to the airport, and split assets 50-50.
I didn't say that, by the way.
Yeah, no.
I'm already. We already had a warning. So,
so guys, let me, Mike, let me ask you. You guys previously, you mentioned that you guys used to be a lifestyle business. How has the business evolved over the past couple of years, and has your mindset changed into more of a scalability or growth oriented business, or did you just kind of position away from lifestyle? Kind of how do you view that?
Really, because we lived a great life. Our goals were like, hey, when's the next boys trip, or we're going snowboarding here. When are we going to do this? Go to different countries, and it allowed us to do that, and it allowed us to really kind of have that taste of life and everything. And then just like it was organically, Adam and I usually are really on the same page with a lot of things, like just even in a weird way, like telepathically, where we were both kind of like, hey, you know what? We really built something great here. What if we kind of like just put a different type of effort towards it and really build something for our future? Obviously, we're getting older, right? And our goals are changing. Our lives are changing. Our future is changing. And so we decided at the same time, like, you know what? Let's build something we can have a different, our priorities change and the business change with our priorities. And in that sense, it's kind of, we were able to really change our mindset, set different goals, be more present, build a team and set those goals year after year and reach them, like building a media team. So that was one of the things that we put in our focus. So we're happy where it's at.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Tim Ferriss, The 4 Hour Work Week. I don't know if you guys have read that book. Yeah. So, one of those things is that, that priority wise, and Michael and I are alignment on this, is it's really kind of like experiences and family and time over things, and we focused our priorities where, it's, our lives should never be all about, you work 40 hours a week and you work overtime, and then you get, a vacation or two a year with your family to, Cancun, Mexico. And I think we realized that, you can have both and you can have everything that you want. You build a good team, you build processes in place, you trust your people, you give them the same amount of, lavity and tools and everything that you have. So it's like, hey, I want to be able to go on vacations. I want to be able to go do this. Hey man, you can do whatever you want as long as you get your work done, Yeah. And, so that's kind of like the transition for us. It went from that like Michael and I basically doing everything. We had like one other key person in the company to growing it to, 12 to 14 person team where we have key people in our organization that can help us do things that we would otherwise be doing ourselves to free up time to do more things that we want to do.
Yeah, 100%. And also like what Adam was saying before too is, just the way we built our team too is we, Adam and I, we kind of look at ourselves as like a Voltron kind of setup where everybody has a piece to create the bigger superhero or whatever you want to call it. Meaning that everyone works with us. We all put our tool belts on and we're accomplishing the same goals so that they have such a stake into the success of it that they can do those things and go on those vacations and do what they like. But they're all driven to get those things done so we can keep the machine moving and growing and going in the right. So everyone has the motive of help and growth. So those are really good motives to have when you're trying to grow something or fight some kind of space monster.
Yeah, kind of like employee ownership kind of is. Even though they work for us, they feel like they own a part of the business, and for that respect, like if whatever the future looks like, if there's ever a big win for Michael and I, there's a big win for all our entire team. So
we want everybody to win. It's important to us.
Yep. Guys, that's the best answer I think I've ever heard to any of that. Like why to have a business, how to recruit people to grow that business. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
You go to some shit. I'm gonna apply for a job. We have a good culture.
Yeah. Good culture.
How'd you come up with the name Concussion Media? That's a little bit unique.
Oh my God. All right. So Adam finally got it. So long story short, Adam and I we had this company where we were buying leads for about $60, $65 a pop. Adam came up with a great idea and he said, hey, listen, you know what? Why don't we open up a marketing company, just go to these shows and buy them wholesale? Because, the difference was around $15 to $20 a lead. And as you know, that's a significant to your cost per acquisition. So Adam came up with that idea. He goes, great. And then we were like, hey, by then we had a couple of companies, but Adam said, let's come up with a name for this marketing company. And he didn't really care because he's like, it's only a pass through. It doesn't really matter. So then I was just kind of like, this is what, oh God, it was child. And I was just kind of like, I don't know, man. I was like, what about concussion media? And he goes, Michael, I don't care. Call it whatever you
It
want.
doesn't matter. Call it poo-poo media. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, cool. So I got it. We ended up going to affiliate summit and stuff, and then we started getting the leads wholesale. Then all of a sudden we said, hey, listen, what if we try to generate these leads ourselves? And then we built a landing page and started doing Google. We started producing more leads than we could possibly take. So we started selling the leads through concussion media to other firms. And then from there, it just kind of grew. And let's just say that then we were known as the Concussion Boys and the guys. And then,
we even talked about doing rebranding, and we just can't.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like we're like locked into it now. So,
it kind of goes with, that's the Concussion Boys.
Stuff, it sticks in people's mind. It is weirdly over the years of 14 years, it's unique. And people, it doesn't, it's kind of associated with us now instead of like what concussions mean. You know what I mean? So
it's also weird too, because our clients, at first it's like conversation starter. So yeah.
Yeah, but I've also almost give my grandmother a heart attack because when we got we call on our business line, it comes up as concussion med. So she answered the phone going, God, who's the hospital? I'm like, oh my God, like. I'm not. No one's in the hospital right now. Give us some.
Michael, you have a really unique relationship with your grandmother. Can you share her name? What you call her?
Yes, I call her Yaya. So Yaya is Greek for grandmother, and Papu is grandfather in Greek. So yeah, my Yaya is a very, very special woman. She's 97 years old. This woman is very special, not only like recently, but in her whole life. She started as a secretary for Citibank back in the 60s, and she ended up retiring as the vice president of student loans with Citibank.
Wow.
She helped write the Lemon Law. She was part of that. She really is a special person. She basically raised me, and, I learned a lot from her. But also in her later years, about 8 years ago, I don't remember this, I got a phone call, and she was not going to make it. They put her in hospice, and all the Morgidis brothers came, the whole family. The nurses couldn't believe the line out the door to say goodbye to her. And we spent the night in her hospital bed. So we're sitting there, and Emily and I spent the night in her room the night everyone said goodbye. The next morning I wake up and she's sitting up, eating. and I'm looking around, I'm like, what is happening? And we got up, and the doctors are like, we're going to check on her and stuff. Needless to say, she left hospice. She left hospice, which I'm telling you right now, the doctors were blown away, and she had a priest, doctor, and he just was like, wow, okay. So he goes, I was just making up the whole miracle thing before, but this is real.
Wow.
No, okay, the priest didn't say that. I'm just joking. But she did that.
He took credit.
No, he was more surprised than anything. He goes, I thought it was bullshit. This is credit.
He's like, rise.
I believe. Yeah, well, I think the pearly gates are like, what you had to put up with those boys, we'll give you a couple more years. So then from there, she got through COVID, and people were dying in her facility. She's like in a living facility.
Yeah.
She made it through that, and then like a year and a half ago, we got another phone call. She was remember the hernia mesh mass tort? That happened to her. It happened to her.
Oh, wow.
And we went to the hospital, and the doctor's like, listen, she's 97 years old. There's no way, we don't think she's going to make it through surgery, but it's your decision. Basically, they were saying, no surgery and say goodbye, or surgery and she probably have to, say goodbye.
Yeah.
So we just, we all sat together, and she made it through, and she's just hanging out. She's like still like,
wow.
I mean, she's a pretty remarkable. So thanks for letting me tell that story, because it's really inspiring. She's an inspiring person.
They call her Teflon Yaya.
Yeah, Teflon Yaya, man. Yeah, she's only been on the show. Yeah, she's only been indicted 4 times, but it's okay. So yeah, she's so funny. Like, because I wrote her she's older than sliced bread. So I asked her on her birthday card, how does it feel older than sliced bread? She goes, pretty stale. I was like, I can't write this stuff. Yeah.
Beautiful.
She's amazing. She's funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone needs one.
So 14 years, 3 now in expansion mode. What are we working on in Concussion Media these days?
I'll let Adam go with that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple things, like we had one of the things that we were doing is that we were basically the, let's say yes to everything, kind of people, where we just didn't have like a really defined focus as far as what verticals that we wanted to work in and what was our identity as a company. So we spent a lot of time trying to figure that out. Like, what is it that we're good at? What is it that our team is motivated and sees the most opportunity? So we basically stopped working in every single lead gen vertical and just kind of pared it down to a handful of verticals. We stuck with, total of 3. We stuck with the ones where we had like the greatest influence, the ones where we had like, direct advertiser relationships. So the hierarchy of that is we've always been one of the top players in the auto finance space. That's kind of our bread and butter. Been doing it for years, have a ton of relationships in that space. So we're like, that's kind of like solid. Didn't really need to do a lot with that. But then we chose to work on home services and then legal. Then we focused on building out other sectors of it. Like, in other words, when I say the hierarchy of, legal is the hierarchy, and then there's all the subsets like, workman's compensation, SSDI, motor vehicle accident, and so forth and so on. So we really built those direct attorney relationships, really focused on that. Home services, we were dealing, directly with the call centers and the providers, so that we could, get better results. And that was kind of like the first step, was focus on those, build those verticals up, put all your biz dev attention to those, build out a good solid back end of, obviously front end of providers, and then ultimately backfill that with less third party traffic and focus more on first party traffic. So that was kind of like the big turning point. And we built a media buying team, kind of grassroots, kind of built it with people that we didn't necessarily know a lot about media buying, but we felt confident in some of their skills. And I think what we've learned too is through that process that like somebody comes in and say, I'm a qualified media buyer, it can mean a lot of things, and not necessarily all the right things. So we decided that we wanted to build it from within through our kind of culture and using our tools and our methodologies. And that's been a very, very key to our success. So kind of isolating a few verticals, controlling the media ourselves, I'd say were the 2 biggest turning points.
Yeah, extremely. Yeah. And also our team is really based on data and tech. So that's extremely important too. I mean, that right there is, but we also built out, because we're doing our own media buying, it's very important to get that data back. So optimize the campaigns. So we've worked really, really hard to say no to people that aren't able to get us that data back, and then say yes to the people that can. And since we've been, by doing that, the people we said no to will come back and say, oh, we can do that now. So us saying no to certain things is a key to success as well. Because what happens is that we're not bogging down our guys by the maybes. And if we just tweak this over here, it's kind of like, here's the formula, here's how it works, here's the process. And then we stick to that. Then there's no like extra headaches or work to try to make it fit. So us doing that is really important. And then Adam and the guys heading up on the tech side of using AI, really early adopters of AI for certain things. And then also, which, we'd love to talk about, is developing our own SaaS product called MediaScale, where we're able to really optimize our campaigns on the internal. So, but also the data coming back for us to see how the leads are performing. And one of the biggest keys to that is that we're able to sustain like retainer cost at high scale volume. Yeah. And because if the truth is, like, if you don't have the data coming back, you really are plateaued, or you're hitting a ceiling about what you can send before it starts going bad. Wow. Because you're not able to get a grip of like, is it too many leads for this call center? Is it not too many leads? Is the leads hurting because of the lead quality, or is it they're just sitting there for a while? With that information that we get back, we're able to really be part of that advertiser or that law firm as a team member where they're able to, they can't deny it. There's no like conversation of like, it's you. No, it's you. No, it's us. No, it's you. It's basically, it's data. And Adam always says data never lies. So they can't argue. They're just sitting there looking at the same thing we are. And they're like, oh, okay, we need to work on our stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of our oldest friends in the lead gen space. He used to tell us something and always used to irk the shit out of me, man. Like that. He'd say, when it comes to advertisers, everything is good until it's not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, like there's got to be a better way, there really has to be a better way to run the business. And I think when like Michael said about choosing our partners, it's a two-way street. Obviously, like we want their business with their money, but if they're showing up to the construction site with no tools, it's not going to work. It's never going to work out. So some of these companies who don't have a proper CRM, they don't have proper ways of their call center to reach out to their clients, don't do any kind of remarketing or retargeting or any of the kind of stuff with the leads. And we've seen the difference. And we have actual proof of documentation of company A versus company B. One who uses all the tools that are available and has a team of people that actually manage this stuff properly versus ones that just kind of like haphazardly. And at the end of the day, the companies that are most successful are the ones that make that investment because, we all know these leads are so expensive, right? So and if they're not going to really put the work in to try to get these people on the phone or try to market to these people the way that needs to be done, they're wasting their money and they're wasting everybody's time because think about from our side, we've got to integrate all these people. We've got to, make all the square pegs, fit all the round hole, chase them down for money, get all the IOs, contract side. And then, so like a test for us, if we don't feel that a test is going to work, then we won't even sign them up. We won't even say, if we don't feel like we can get a reorder from them based on a set of rules that we feel it sets them up for success, we won't even try to work with them. So it just reduces the amount of friction for the management all the way through the team. So,
Very true. Very, very true.
Yeah.
And then also what it does too, I hate to say this, but when you work in like verticals where there's egos that will never look at within and say it's your fault, when you do it the way we're doing it, they can never say that because they're looking at the same thing we're looking at. Right. So what ends up happening is that the change is there and everyone's kind of on the same playing field. There's no just kind of like, it can't be me, it's you. So all those things have really come into play in terms of like what our vision is for moving from that lifestyle business to what we're doing now. And also like we're doing other projects that coincide with the business as well. And, like the media scale I spoke about.
Michael, you know what they say about the ego, right? Anytime you point a finger at someone, you have three pointing right back at yourself.
That's very true. I try to tell my wife that, and then she pointed both of them. And she just going.
That's funny. So Adam, you mentioned a really cool metaphor, right? The worker showing up to the construction site without tools, which obviously is the clients showing up without providing data. But I just want to mention, I'd be remiss that our show sponsor today is Firewise Consultants. If anyone out there is looking for a fire stop construction consulting company, I'll look no further than Firewise Consultants. That is an inside joke. We have a friend from high school who
I was going to say that is like the best segue.
Plug every show. So
that was
not
like
really. You need that.
Yeah,
that
but every show we try to work that in as a joke because it doesn't fit into our industry at all.
That's practice, though. It's good practice for you guys. Good practice.
Yeah. That was a great segue. Speaking of Yaya, if your house is on fire, it's like what?
Yeah, go get that priest.
That's right.
Yeah, the priest. Yeah, exactly.
But on a serious note, you guys have built an incredible business over the years. I mean, it's what you've done is really unique in the sense of you look at all the companies that have come and gone, in the last 14 years. I'm sure the list is a mile long. You are changing your business model a little bit, right? Moving away from cost per lead to a SaaS platform. Have you managed that business any different, or have you had to change your management style and maybe in the way that tech is built, or has it been like a seamless kind of integration into your current business?
No, it's been, I'll tell you, Sean, I think that building software is tested us in a lot of ways that we didn't know that it could even exist. And in the respect that, it's a constant refining process. We really didn't ever, I don't think we really knew when we first started out. We had an idea of what we wanted, and then it turned into this this like morphed into this giant project, and then we had to hire a bunch of development team, and it's like, but we had a concept or an idea that we needed to bring it to fruition, and then once we it worked really well for our team. We're like, hold on a second, I wonder if other people need this. So it didn't always start out as like we're building a SaaS, we build it for our team. But now we're like, we were like, wow, we've got this great tool. So I could touch on that a little bit. So MediaScale is essentially a Facebook app or that operates basically as a one tool to manage all Facebook accounts, ad creation, anywhere from ad creation within the software to data attribution to managing everybody. So for example, if you're a head media buyer and you have, let's say within your organization, you have 40 Facebook accounts, all individual accounts, could be business managers from corporate ones to individuals, you name it. They could all be managed within MediaScale. So that the head media buyer can actually manage an entire team, and the individual media buyer could manage all of their Facebook accounts within the software. As far as, the biggest thing really is really optimizing to, which Facebook doesn't really allow you to do, is it doesn't, like most media buyers want to optimize towards ROI. I spent $1, I made $2, and there's all these metrics that Facebook gives you, but it doesn't really give you those finite details. So we've got it built to where we've got all kinds of data points that we can access, look at all kinds of different metrics to look at the success of the campaign. And it's really kind of changed our business in the respect that, campaigns that we normally wouldn't been able to have made successful, we've been able to make successful utilizing MediaScale. And we see an average of about a 30% lift, which is monumental. I mean, it's literally changed our business, and we've gotten to the point where, where we've got such transparency into everything that's happening globally. Because we would talk to companies that would have, a team of media buyers, and we're like, well, how do you know how your whole team's performing? And they're like, oh, well, we get screenshots sent to us at the end of the day or whatever. And I'm like, because, everybody's afraid to log in to other accounts because, we're going to get a ban. It's got a weird IP address, and so all these things, all these limitations Facebook has for people looking at, because it's so finicky with the privacy and all the policies they have. So it's been a great tool. It's been great for us. And basically right now we're in the beta. We've got a few select media buyers, teams that we've worked with over the years that either ran trafficker offers or, just personal friends of ours that are betaing it right now in the beta test. So soon to go into alpha. And then we're probably, we're looking at sometime in the middle of the year before we launch it to select clients. So it's going to be like, not going to put it out to everybody because, we want to keep a close watch on it. Like anything new, you know how it is, like, little problems when you have a ton of people get multiplied, exponentially. So when you keep it small, we can kind of watch it and then maintain it. And obviously if there's issues or concerns, we can address them on a smaller basis, but we've been working on it. This will be our third year of working on it, which is crazy to think about already. And yeah, I don't want to tell you guys how much money we have into it, but.
Well, one of the things though, is, what it does, it's mind blowing of what it does in terms of being able to have less people. One of the things is Adam and I were always about when starting this business, the less people, more technology is what we want. Because of a lot of people in our industry, you guys know this, they always, when we first started this, it was all about the biggest office and the most amount of people, we're doing this, and we didn't believe in that. We just, the more, because we came from having a pretty big company and, the more people, the more headaches. I hate to say that, but it's true. So what we like about this product, it's really in essence what we feel business should be, where you're able to take less people and squeeze out 10%, 10 times more productivity. Sticking with that, that's why I think that our technology and our team is always testing and trying new things, because it's about keeping the machine moving so efficiently and less bodies, more productivity. So, and to go back to what Adam was saying about MediaScale, if I could just add a couple things, is that, one of the things that Facebook took away was rules. And basically, if you're spending $500,000 a month, or a lot of money, you go to sleep and you wake up, you could lose a lot of money because you have to watch the thing. Well, our system will put the rules in place so that if it's losing money, it turns it off. If it's making money, it turns it up. So that alone will save a significant amount of money for the media buyers. So many different things.
We would have all these cases where we would get burst spends, like it wouldn't spend, and then all of a sudden it would spend your whole budget in like 15 minutes at the end of the day. It prevents all those things. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, and speaking on technology, I know that's always been we've always tried to be on the forefront of it. We're really super excited about the opportunities that artificial intelligence is bringing, not just to helping us, buy the media, but just every part of our business. We're trying to implement it and using it to, just like Michael said, to be sort of like a personal assistant in some cases, helping us, like, leveraging it has been a real big blessing for a lot of us. And we're not like, don't get us wrong, like Michael and I we're getting up there, man. We're like kind of the older, it's getting to be some of, these guys in our industry are young bucks. I got my nephew's working for us. He's 20, he's a rock star, and he's like the future. Those kids we know those guys are the future of the business. And we look at, like, all the technology that they're utilizing, and that they've been doing it their whole lives. So in a lot of ways, we feel like, okay, well, we have to try to keep getting younger, as an organization, and keep leveraging those people. Like it's super important. I mean, we're in the technology space and the emerging technologies. Like, so my daughters are here visiting me right now. My one daughter, she works for a design studio, gaming design studio, and I'm looking at some of the stuff that she's doing. And she's showing me a website that she built that's kind of like got her portfolio and like all of the different apps that she's certified in. It's like steady, and it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I think we have time for probably about 2 more questions, Zach. I'll let you, and then maybe if I could wrap up.
Yeah. So with a couple questions with Media Scale, did you guys, when you built it initially, were you just going to use it for you, or did you always have a concept to go to market with it as a SaaS offering?
No, it wasn't all. It was always built for our team, and we finally got the idea that we could. That we should use it as a SaaS when we started to realize that we might be really onto something. And really what it is that when we figured out that we could make decisions even faster than the ads manager because of the way that we built the app. And that's when we knew we really had something, and that we had something that people would really need in the marketplace. So for that,
I agree.
Yeah.
And also, basically at that point, Zach, life was going way too good, so we decided to make it a lot more complicated.
Put a monkey wrench in it.
We're like, things are going great. Yeah. Let's develop a SaaS product.
Let's get a 50-gallon barrel, take all of our money in it, and set it on fire.
That's basically what happened. But
Zach, it makes sense. You spoke to like a lot of my personal pain points with media buying on Facebook. It definitely addresses a lot of issues.
One of the things too is just to elaborate on that. Being in front of media buyers and going to these conferences, the weirdest thing happened. Right, we told you a little bit about the bells and whistles of the product, right? Every person I spoke to, high-level media buyers, when I explained to them that they were able to manage their team and all their accounts in one place and being able to, they were like, that's what they were happy about the other stuff, but that was that's real big pain point. Yeah. So just letting you know that,
and be able to take your ads that you built within Media Scale and hit a button and say, duplicate that as many times as you want. Just like duplicate 50 times, exactly the same way. So ad duplication is no longer a manual process either. So we automated all that, and we have a bunch of, and we're working on them. I know we're running short on time here, but I'll just tell you one thing: that the next iteration of the software that we're working on down the road is we're working on using big data to be able to test ads before actually spending $1 on them through the platform. So meaning so we can actually say, all right, well, within a degree of this, we feel like this ad's going to perform or it's not going to perform based on this sort of criteria using artificial intelligence. because that's always been the biggest thing is testing ads, is where all the money is spent, like trying to find the winners. You burn through hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just trying to find what works. So, that's another thing. So
nice. Well, that you guys can, I guess, recoup some of that money that you lit on fire by doing that. So it's all an investment.
Yeah. Joking about it.
It was more like let's increase our stress level. Yeah.
Michael's son doesn't even like college.
Yeah, why college? It's all right. He's gonna be a firefighter now, but go ahead. Yeah. So that's.
Sorry.
And then just to for AI, you guys are using a lot of it in your technology. Like, what's one AI platform or media buying software that you guys like these days? There's hundreds, if not thousands, of them out there. I talk to media buyers all the time. Everybody seems to have a different answer. What do you guys like?
We built our own tips, right, Adam?
Yeah. So we're building our own there. But as far as like the AI that we're utilizing on the daily, other than the obvious choice, we use a lot of. Our team uses for ad creation. They use a lot of Midjourney and Canva, and we use we've got there's a laundry list of tools, man. Like it's just every tool has a different utility. From doing voiceovers to artificial images creation to there's just so many, and they're constantly testing different products as they come out. So I wouldn't say that there's like a favorite, other than obviously we use ChatGPT 4, we all use it. Everybody uses it now.
Yeah.
Everybody in our organization. We also have, for data analyzation, we do a lot with it. Without being long-winded, we using it to like take our lead data that from the leads that we generate and feed it into it and ask it and, give it some prompts of some really tight guardrails and have it spit out like basically forecasting data saying, if you do this based on this large of an audience, based on the number of people that met this criteria, you could scale to this much based on the audience size. So we're using it to help us develop ideas of where to market and who to market to for our ad spends, and also showing that to our advertisers as well, saying, hey, you guys are missing a big opportunity in this state because look at how many people meet the criteria of the product that you have. So
yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So last question for you guys. When I met you, both of you guys, big in the background of your office, you had a vision board. And so I'm just curious, do you guys still use the vision board? What inspired you to create a vision board, and what does that vision board look like today versus 8 or 9 years ago?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. So yes, we still utilize the vision board. We've done it since the beginning, and I actually have photographs of each one and what we put on them since the beginning and how it's expanded and grown over the years. What got me to do it? I really was, I'm really big into manifesting. I'm really big into, for me, mostly it's like the words I believe that come out of your mouth is what comes true, or what you kind of look at or visualize. Like, for example, I never say, I hope and I wish. I always say I can and I will. So just little tweaks like that in my life was very important at that time and still is. And I really believe that when you look at something every day, you make micro decisions to reach those goals, right? So even if you're not really consciously looking at the board, it's still there and you memorize it over time. And then you're like, so that being said, we put our goals and what do we want to do? Like, for example, what revenue do we want to do for the year? Then we back into what verticals are we in and what is our monthly goal to hit. So it kind of gives us a cool little, almost a whole year in advance of what we want to accomplish. And I'm happy to say that, 90% of the time we hit everything that we want to. And then also each person has their own, like in our organization, with the big board is they were able to write down what their goals were as well. So it was kind of a team vision board. So it's really a wonderful way to also document where you go every year. And every time I take a picture and frame it, it's really good to know where you came from and where you are and where you're going, so that you can really be grateful for that. And gratuity is something I practice every single day of my life. And Adam does. And Adam does too. That's something that we always communicate and always tell each other we're grateful for each other. And I think it's built our relationship to be, it's hard to be business partners and best friends, it's a marriage. So those things I think really help us stay on point.
Yeah, you guys know that all too well. And, like Michael said, gratitude is something that, it's something that's been kind of a bond for us. We're grateful for our opportunities. We're grateful for our business partners, our family, and all of it. And most importantly, I think it's the life that it has afforded us, like, the manifestation of the vision board to the, like never saying like, hey, we have too much of an ego to do this or do that, to roll up our sleeves to go to work. But most importantly, for the people that make the sacrifices, we're grateful for all of them, and we'll continue to be. So, I share all that with Michael as well.
My late friend Dave Curran used to always say having an attitude of gratitude is super important. And every day he'd wake up, he would say, I am healthy, I am wealthy, and I'm in a beautiful relationship with myself. And he would not get out of bed every day until he absolutely believed all three things. Last question. It's a quick one. My daughter created a vision board this year. First one she's ever created. One of the pictures in her vision board, I took a quick peek, was a woman tanned with looked like an engagement ring on it. She's 15.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Hey, man. Hey, not for nothing though, man. I
don't think she just wants the ring.
Yeah, it's dude. That's these are the moments where I've got two boys.
So do I. Thank God.
You want me to pay for a wedding, or you want a down payment on a house?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
We are so incredibly grateful for the friendship, relationship, the business relationship, everything that you guys have done for us, continue to do for us, and do for the industry. Thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. I won't do the thing, but thank you.
No. Thank you guys. Listen, man, it's all about having the right people in your life.
Real quick, guys, if Adam, Michael, if anybody wants to get in touch with you after this, for our 35 subscribers, we'll put it in the comments. But what's the best way to reach out to you guys?
Their email address, or mm@concussionmedia.com or adam@concussionmedia.com. concussionmedia.com. That's good ways to get a hold of us, and you can see all of our contact information in there too.
Michael's MySpace is Dirt Bike Mike.
Yeah. You can get me on a Feed Finder. All right. No friends with top. Hashtag Fro's got nothing on me, so that's cool. So no, thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate you both very much. Yeah, it's hard to find good people in this industry, and you guys are the pinnacle of who people should strive to be. Thank you.
We appreciate you, fellas.
We'll be boys.
Thank you very much.
I need it, baby. Even if